Welcome to the second tutorial for the InteliOps Online Interactive Development Environment, or oIDE. I'll be demonstrating how to create a new project and explaining the details of this project's assets and functionalities or behaviors. If you haven't watched the first tutorial yet, please find it on our channel and watch it first. It introduces you to the basic layout and structure of the oIDE, and here it is. I'll be linking it in the description below too. So let's begin. To create a new project, click the File menu, New Project. I'll be naming my project, if you want to follow along with me, and press Create. The new project folder, My Project, we've created shows up in the left-hand project panel. Let's expand the folder and note all the assets are empty. So to expand the folder, we just click here to press open the folder, and you'll see that all the assets are empty. Our application needs data. The data needs to be encapsulated as an object, entity, or just a group. For example, when we want to define a person, we may want to describe him or her by name, age, gender, and profession. Note that the descriptors are attributes of a declare type, in our example, person. So let's create a new declare type person by clicking File, New, Declare Type, and name it Person. Press Create, and notice that the middle panel will show a new tab, Person. The code in the tab is a sample code. We need to change that to describe the person fact type. So let's edit the code now. Note that name, gender, and profession will have string values, and age will have an integer value. So name already has a string value. We don't need this. Age, int. So here, another note, for any data type descriptions, please refer to our detailed reference guide. So after you're done with this, I want to talk about functions. Functions are definitions of any procedure that can be repeatedly applied in the same or similar situations. Functions can be formulae to compute something, sequences of operations to manipulate sets or objects, or iterative procedures that apply certain logic to a collection of objects. We'll be providing examples of various functions in the user guide. You can reference the user guide on our oIDE here, and you can expand it and reference it whenever you need. So let's continue to rules. Rules are definitions of your problem-solving logic in the form of patterns and actions. Patterns are collections of facts, and actions are just procedures that operate on the facts. Our engine will look for the pattern in the working memory, and when a match is found, it runs the procedure. Note that the engine will control how a rule activates and in what order it fires. The user or rule writer is responsible for describing situations using patterns and writing actions. The program's flow is automated for you by the rules engine. So to create a new rule, you must select a project first. We've already selected a project and the project is open. Next, from the menu bar, we'll select File, New, Rule. In the pop-up window, let's enter the name of our rule. And the name of the rule is going to be Person is Female. And create this rule. Notice that in the middle of the panel, once again, a new tab, Person is Female, will be open. This tab contains a placeholder rule with proper rule structure. This rule has the name, the when section, a then section, and an end keyword. Notice that the when section is empty. This is perfectly okay, as rules may not have any pattern or precondition to them. Go ahead and click Build and Compile to compile your code. Notice on the right-hand panel, the REIT graph under the REIT tab has appeared. This is the graphical representation of your rule. The graph consists of different types of nodes. So this open donut is the REIT. The dark gray or black is the entry. The red is the type. Yellow is alpha, and the light gray is the terminal node. Other nodes and types will be discussed later. So next we have to edit the rule as follows. The when section, we do this. In the then section, we have to print out the name. So this rule matches on any fact of type person with gender female and prints her name. So let's click Build, Compile once again. And you'll notice that the REIT graph has been modified. Notice the type node is now person instead of null. Also, a new node type, which is blue, which is a constraint node, shows up. This constraint node shows that the label female, which is a string literal, is assigned to gender. I also want to give you a quick example for error handling. So let's edit our declare type definition for person. So let's click the person tab. You'll notice that the declare type person is open and highlighted. And let's delete line number 9. And after you delete line number 9, let's build and compile our code again. And you'll notice that the REIT graph has disappeared from the right-hand side panel, and an error message has appeared on the bottom console tab. Also notice that the rule person is female is highlighted with a red underline. So now click the person is female tab, and notice that line 8 is highlighted with an X. Also, the error message in the console complains about line number 8 too, here. So go ahead and undo the changes that you made in the person declare type. So and then build and compile your code again. And you'll see the REIT graph will reappear and the error will disappear. So that's just basic debugging and error handling. Now we're ready to run our application. So to run our application, we click the green play button in the menu bar here, and it'll run. Notice the stop or red button here appears in its place. This is the indication that the oIDE is in fact in run mode. Also on the right hand panel, the agenda tab is selected instead of the REIT tab. And notice that the agenda tab is currently empty, which means there are no rules activated yet. The application still needs data or facts so that the rules get activated. So let's insert a fact by right-clicking on Person in the Projects tab and pressing Add. In the pop-up window, enter the name Jane, for example, and press Create. Notice in the middle panel, Person Jane, that tab appears. So let's enter the data into this tab. So name is Jane, gender is female, profession, say it's a teacher, age 35. After you've entered in the data, you press Add Facts to WM, or Working Memory. Notice in the bottom panel, WM Contents tab is selected, showing the fact counts in the working memory here below. We can also search for facts in the working memory by clicking on Search Facts and then selecting from the drop-down list the desired fact. So let's select Person, and we'll see the fact that we just added into the working memory. Jane is female, her profession is teacher, and her age is 35. Also, on the right-hand side panel, under Agenda tab, you will notice that the rule Person is Female is activated. The buttons Fire N, Fire Next, Fire All, and Reset WM or Working Memory are also visible. So let's go ahead and click the Fire Next button, and you'll notice that the rule has fired. After the rule fires, you will no longer see it in the top Agenda tab. And also notice that the Console tab in the bottom panel shows the details in order that they have occurred. So first we clicked the Run button. Then we created the Person fact and clicked Add Fact to WM or Working Memory. And finally, we clicked Fire Next. Also, notice in the middle of the right panel, your fired rule is listed here. So it went from the top to the middle. The WM Contents tab contains a summary of all the facts in the working memory. So let's click here. We only have one fact in the working memory right now, so that is what is being displayed. To delete a fact, all you have to do is right-click the fact and delete. And that fact is deleted. You're able to perform delete operations before you insert it into the working memory too. This concludes the fundamentals tutorial. In our next video, I'll be going over the details of how to develop a financial analysis application to show more advanced functionalities of the oIDE. Continue to explore the development environment, and please let us know if you have any questions. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you soon.